everyone, this is Russell Brunson. I want to welcome you to the One Funnel Away Challenge. I'm so excited to have you guys here and excited for the experience you're going to experience over the next 30 days or so. Now, the first part of this is the pre-training. This is where I'm going to be giving you guys a whole bunch of stuff to study and learn and think about before we get started in the 30-day challenge, which will be starting in about a week from now. And the whole goal of this pre-training, honestly, is to give you belief. Belief is the most important part involved in all of this. If you guys believe that you can succeed in this, then you will. If you're like, I think this could work, it might work, you're going to struggle. So a lot of this pre-training is to show you case studies and examples and stories and things to help you believe in yourself, believe this is possible, because literally that's the biggest key. It's interesting. I remember when I was growing up, I was a wrestler. And I remember being in this one wrestling tournament. It was in Laramie, Wyoming, and I was wrestling this kid. And there was a guy on my team who had wrestled him earlier. I didn't know that. And the guy on the team was not very good. I used to beat him up every single day. And then I ended up wrestling this guy, and I'm losing to him pretty badly. Like, the guy's just beating me. I'm like, man, this guy is good. And during the break, you have like a 30-second break between I walked off, and my coach came up to me, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, this guy's good. He's like, he's not good. I'm like, no, he's really good. He's like, dude, Matt just beat him the round earlier. I'm like, what? Matt beat him? And also in my mind, I was like, I beat Matt every single, like, there's no way I should lose. And all of a sudden I believed that I could win. I went back out there. I ended up beating him by a lot. But it was because I believed, and it's like in sports athletics, I know that if you've been involved in sports, you know that. But the same thing is true in business. I see so many people struggle and fail because they're like, I think this might work. Oh, I think it might. And they don't have absolute belief. As soon as you have absolute belief and absolute certainty in what we're talking about, that's going to work and it's going to work for you, then it's going to be really easy to do this. And so that's what a lot of this pre-training is about, is to get you guys the belief that you need to actually be successful. Okay, so that's the first thing. Number two. As you know, you spent $100 to be part of this challenge, okay? And a couple of things about this. Number one is that this $100 did not actually go to me. Whoever referred you to this challenge got that $100. So there's literally nothing in this for me. I don't get paid. I don't get any money for this. This is literally 100% about you, okay? And so I wanted you to understand that, like, we charge $100 because I wanted you to have some skin in the game so you can go through this period, so you actually dedicate and give the time and energy commitment you need to. But at the same time, I want you to understand, like, this is not a big, huge money maker for me. I lose money because you spent the $100, and I'm also shipping out a whole bunch of box of books and like a whole bunch of amazing things as well. So I don't make money on this. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you're like, oh, $100 is a lot, or you're like, how do I have money to invest in some of these other things? Because we pay out 100% commission, that means if you refer somebody to this training, you get paid $100 for every single person you bring in. So if you know friends and family members and other entrepreneurs or business owners or people you believe this will be helpful for, you can invite them to it, and you get paid the $100 for anybody who signs up. So I thought it was kind of a cool thing to do, just to make this more fun, and hopefully I get you to get other people you know around you involved. It's just like when you start a weight loss plan. It's interesting. They've got proof. They got tons of stats and proof that, like, if you start a weight loss plan by yourself, you're usually going to fail, because what happens? You're being really good, but your spouse is at home buying ice cream and cupcakes and cookies and ice cream, and it makes it really hard. But if you can get your entire family involved, then you can throw the food out, you can focus, you can actually succeed. And the same thing's true in business. Like, you should be getting those around you, other people who are entrepreneurial or who may be entrepreneurial, have them come through this training as well, have them go through the One Funnel Away Challenge, and then they'll start speaking similar language patterns to you. They have similar goals. A whole bunch of amazing things will happen when you do that, okay? And the other thing I recommend is, if you have children, please bring them on these trainings. I tried to create these in a fun, exciting way where every single thing we're talking about is going to be doodles and images and concepts, and we're going to start with very basic things, and we'll kind of build upon those concepts to make it a really fun learning environment. But my kids, as I've been planning this, I've been planning it with them, and they're so excited because they want to go through this. And so now this is going live, they'll be going through this with you guys, and hopefully you bring your kids on as well, because I think it'll be a great learning activity. Plus, you'll get your whole family engaged in what we are doing here with the One Funnel Away Challenge, okay? So what does One Funnel Away mean? Like, what is the whole concept behind that? Kind of the backstory on that. When we started the company ClickFunnels, we launched as the time I'm making this video, it was about 4 years ago that ClickFunnels went live. And at the time, nobody really knew what funnels were. I'm going to talk about the difference between websites and funnels here in a few minutes. But a lot of people didn't know what a funnel even was. And so my job was to, like, try to explain to the world, like, what a funnel is and why it's so exciting. And I was all, trying to get people pumped. And at first, it was tough, like, to get people to understand what it was and how it worked and how it actually worked for their specific business or their idea. But eventually it started getting traction, and we started seeing people having success and more success. And again, as of today, we have over 65,000 active members, and it's growing every single day. They're actively using ClickFunnels. So entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you are using this as a tool. But the hardest thing is, like, understanding how does it actually work for you. And so a couple years ago, we put together kind of a a slogan or whatever you want to call it, and the slogan was that you're one funnel away. And people used to ask me like, well, one funnel away from what? I said, well, for everybody it's different. For some of you guys, you're in a job you hate, it's a dead-end job, and you're trying to get out of that, right? So for you, you're one funnel away from getting out of the thing that you hate and getting the freedom and the lifestyle you actually want. Now, some of you guys, you are entrepreneurs and you got a business and maybe it's stuck and it's not where you want it to be yet. Whether your one funnel could be like, here's one funnel that gets me from where I am to where I want to be. Maybe I'm going from 6 figures to 7 or 7 to 8 or 8 to 9 or whatever that makes sense. There's a funnel that's going to take you on that journey and get you to the next step. And some of you guys, it's like, I don't care about money. I'm here because I want to make a bigger impact on the world. I totally understand that as well. And some of you guys, it's one funnel that helps you get the bigger impact. I know for me, like I've been doing this now for almost 15 years, and I was always teaching and educating, trying to get this stuff out there. And it wasn't until I launched my book funnel. My first book funnel was .com Secrets, and I went out there, and this platform, I sold over 100,000 copies of this book through one funnel, and this helped me get my message out. When people read this, they came and started using ClickFunnels. And the same thing came with my second book. I put this out there. We've sold over 150,000 copies of this one. And my third book's coming out soon. Like, as I'm doing these things, each of these funnels gets me to the next step and the next level. Helps me have a bigger impact, get more customers, get more people, make more money. All those things happen all through funnels. And so you guys are one funnel away. So my goal of this challenge is to help you guys to design and architect and understand what that funnel is and how it's going to work for you specifically, okay? Now, one of the things that's interesting is a lot of people use ClickFunnels. They get in here, they start using ClickFunnels, try to figure out like, this thing's confusing. In fact, I was joking. Had a call with Garrett White. Some of you guys know Garrett J. White. He is one of our Hyper ClickFunnels users and members. He is a winner of the 2 Comma Club and also the 2 Comma Club X, and his wife has also hit it now. And it's exciting what they were doing. And he invited his mom to be part of ClickFunnels and said, read Russell's books, get in ClickFunnels. And so she jumped in and got an account. And I'm probably gonna get in trouble for relaying this story, but he said his mom messaged him back like, this ClickFunnels is too confusing. It doesn't make sense. And he told me, he said back to his mom, he told his mom back, said, ClickFunnels isn't confusing, you're just stupid. And she was like, what? And he's like, you just don't understand the fundamentals. If you understand the fundamentals, then ClickFunnels is really, really simple. I think for a lot of people who get into this, they don't understand the fundamentals, and because of that, it's complicated. And so this challenge is to help you guys understand the core fundamentals of direct response marketing. This is stuff that's been happening ever since the Pony Express. When they were riding ponies down and delivering mail that way, that's when all these concepts were initially designed and developed and created. And when you understand like the base core principles of direct response marketing, then funnels become really, really simple and really easy. So my goal during this challenge is to break things down so simple for you. You're like, it's not magic. It's not some tricky thing. People always ask, well, what's the biggest secret in funnels right now? I'm like, there's no secret. Same stuff's happening during the Pony Express. Like, it's just understanding people and how they work and a process you take people through. And so after you start understanding these fundamentals, ClickFunnels will become easier and easier and easier for you, especially for those right now who are like, I log in and there's all these things I don't know what to do. As you understand the core fundamental principles, ClickFunnels will become easier for you, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, and this is something I want to nip this in the bud before we get started, because some of you guys can go through this 30-day challenge, and there's a couple things. Like during this 30-day challenge, I am asking for your attention. Okay, like if nothing else, that is the most scarce resource I have right now is your attention. I'm going to be asking for a lot of it over the next 30 days. I think most of you guys should be planning at least an hour to 2 hours a day for the next 30 days to really succeed with this program, okay? And some of you guys are like, an hour, 2 hours a day, Russ? Like, I can't afford that right now. Like, I can barely afford to sleep at night and all these kind of things. And the reality is, most of you guys are probably spending that right now watching TV anyway, okay? And so I need you to unglue from these external things that you're doing and just focus, whether it's get up an hour early and go to bed an hour later, or stay up a couple hours later, whatever it is, but I need your time to be able to do this. And some of you guys are gonna be like, Russell, this is hard. You're asking me a lot of things, and we're doing a lot of, I'm learning and I'm implementing, I'm doing stuff, and you're not most people aren't used to like implementing as fast as we're talking about. But I need you to do that because we've got a finite period of time. But in that finite period of time, if you play all out, if you go all in, I promise you we can have a huge dramatic shift in your business and in your life. But only if you go all in. If you kind of dabble and play around, it's not gonna happen. It's just not possible to get the kind of result you're looking for. It's funny, I get people that come to me and they're like, I spent 2 months inside ClickFunnels and I'm not rich yet, so I'm quitting. I'm like, are you kidding me? You spent 2 months? I was like, I asked a couple of my, I said, well, what do you do for a living? Like, I'm a teacher. I'm like, okay, how many years did you go to school to be a teacher? Like, I went to school for 5 years to be a teacher. I'm like, how much a year do you make? And they tell me, I'm like, you spent 5 years of your life to end out with an income of that. I'm like, I'm telling you to focus hard for 30 days, and at the end of it, you can have an income that most people can not even dream about, okay? In fact, I remember my senior year in college, I went to Boise State University. I was a wrestler there, And I took a class. It was a creativity class. My teacher's name was Dr. Murley. He was a little short Indian guy, and he was one of my favorite teachers. And I remember he had us all create, he wanted us to make something that was creative and then come and present it to the class. And so everyone did different things. And for me, I was learning this whole internet business. So I was like, I'm gonna make a membership site. And I had this whole idea of a concept I wanted to create. So I created this membership site. I basically went through the same process I'm gonna show you guys in the next 30 days. I put it together. I wrote a sales letter, I had a video, and this is pre-ClickFunnels. So I was like in Microsoft front page, coding stuff. I didn't know how to code, so I'm calling these dudes in India and Romania to like hook things up for me. And it was a nightmare, but I worked my butt off and I got this thing done and I launched it and I got some traffic coming to it. And I remember that by the time I had my presentation in class, I think I had about 250 to 300 people who were paying me $37 a month to be part of this membership site. And so I showed this whole membership site, how I built it, the creativity went into it. I presented it to my class, and I think my net income at the time was like 15 grand a month off it. So I had worked hard for 30 days, but I'd built an asset that was gonna make me over 6 figures a year as a college student, right? And so I showed the whole class that and everything, and they got done. My teacher, Dr. Murley, he, again, little tiny dude, he gets all excited, he's running around, he's like, what, like, you took this, like my challenge, and you built a business that's gonna make you 6 figures a year. That's more than I'm making right now. And I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. And it was kind of funny because he was all excited, asked a bunch of questions, and he looked at the class, he said, do any of you guys have any questions for us? Like, this is amazing. I look at all these college students who are like sitting back in their chair, like half asleep, you know, and one kid like raises his hand kind of annoyingly, like he was kind of annoyed with it. And Dr. Murley called on him and he said, seems really cool and all, but it seems like a lot of work. And I remember sitting there thinking, man, yeah, I worked hard for a finite period of time, 30 days, 60 days. I worked my butt off to figure this stuff out. But at the end of it, I had a membership site making me 6 figures a year that I didn't have to do a lot to maintain. Yes, there's a lot of upfront work. I had to like push this rock up a mountain, but as soon as you get to the top, it starts rolling down and it kind of gets its own inertia and just runs by itself. And I remember thinking about this kid who's sitting there saying, Russell, that seemed like a lot of work, and thinking, you know what seems like more work is what you're doing. Like you're gonna, you got a couple more months to graduation, then you're gonna get a job starting at maybe 25, 30 grand a year, and then you're gonna work a year or two and hopefully get a bump up, and then from there get another bump and a bump, and in 40 years from now, you'll have made $1 million. I think the math is if you make like 40 grand a year after a 40-year career, you made $1 million. I'm like, you're gonna make it, but it's like in 40 years. Whereas I'm gonna make it a lot shorter because I put in the concentrated effort up front. So for you right now, because you are here, you invested $100. I know that's not a lot. It's something that most of you guys can burn at McDonald's in a weekend. But I want you guys to take this serious. Okay, right now we charge consulting fees, and people will fly to our office and they'll spend an entire day here. We charge over $100,000 for a day here of coaching and consulting. Now for you guys, you didn't pay that much, you paid $100, but you're here, sitting here. I want you to pretend that is exactly what's happening. I want you to pretend you spent $100,000 to get this coaching. If you do that, then you're gonna take it serious, and you're actually gonna focus on it, and then you're gonna have the success that you need. Okay, so I need your time, I need your attention over the next 30 days, and if you do that, I can mold you and craft you in a way that's gonna help you be successful. Okay? All right. I think one other housekeeping thing, and I'm going to jump into the framework, and then we're going to get you into some other really cool trainings throughout the rest of this first pre-training week. The last thing is the way this challenge is going to work is going to be really, really fun. Each week, each day, there's going to be new videos unlocked, and every day I want you to take the time to go in, study the video. Each one's going to be a mission. After that mission's finished, there's going to be some kind of task for you to do, and I need you to do it. Don't be the person who watches and like, oh, I'm going to do all the tasks at the end. You watch all 30 days at the end, you're like, okay, now I'm going to do it. Because then you missed it. You missed the whole point. It all just disappeared. You're the kind of person who watches it and then does it every single day, watches it, does it, watches it, does it. By the time you're at the end, you'll have something beautiful created. Okay, probably one of our best success stories inside of ClickFunnels. You're gonna have a chance to hear their story here during the pre-week. Is Brandon and Kaylin Poland. They run a company called Lady Boss. And when they first came to me, they were at the bottom. They had less than this $100 in their account, and they put this training on a credit card. The training they went through was about $1,000, $2,000, something like that. And they put it on a credit card and they went through it. And they went from zero to within a year. They were killing it. And I'm not at liberty to share their numbers, but they have grown. One of the biggest companies now, serving over 1 million women, helping them to lose weight. And after I had a chance to meet them about a year into this journey, and I asked them, I was like, what? Like, a lot of people go through my training, a lot of people buy this, a lot of people buy the books. Like, what's the difference between you and everybody else? And Brandon said, he said, the difference between me and everybody else, he said that everybody else like reads it all and like gets ideas and oh, that's cool, and then they don't do anything. He said, with me, he said, we watched it and we pushed pause and went and did the thing you said, and we're allowed to click play again until we finish the thing you said. Then we come back, we push play, listen to the next step, pause it, and go and do the thing and go back and forth and back and forth. And by the time it was done, they had a business, a foundation of a business that has gone on to do tens of millions of dollars in sales, okay? And so for you, it's the same thing, like take each step, step by step. Some of these things at first aren't gonna make sense. It's kind of like if you've watched Karate Kid, you remember Mr. Miyagi? Daniel's son wants to learn karate, and he's like, okay, come over here, and he's like, I want you to wax this car. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, wax the car like this, wax on, wax off. And he gets him to wax all these cars, right? And he's like, now I need you to come paint the fence. And he's doing all these chores for Mr. Miyagi. And finally he gets so frustrated, he's like, dude, like I came here to learn karate, not to do your chores for you. And that's when Mr. Miyagi wisely goes and throws a punch, and instinctively Daniel's son waxes the fence and blocks the punch. And he's like, whoa, and he throws a kick, and then he like paints the fence and blocks the next one. And all these things he's been learning all start making sense. And I promise you, for you guys, some of these things we're going through, at first you're like, this doesn't make sense, Russell. Like, why am I doing this? I just want you to trust me. Just remember, wax on, wax off. And at the end of it, all the pieces will fit in place for you to have what you need to be able to create to launch your one funnel away, okay? And so that's kind of the game plan. Does that make sense? All right, with that said, I want to go through the quick framework right now so you have an idea of what we're going to be creating over the next 30 days. And then we're going to be done for today's training. This was a simple one. I just want you guys to kind of understand what's happening and get in the mindset of understanding these things. And then again, there's going to be more pre-training this week. I want you to watch, to consume, to learn. It's going to give you just some powerful ideas of how you can actually do this inside your specific business, okay? Again, the goal of this first week is belief. I need you to believe this will work for you. If you do that, I can help you. I can get you exactly what you need to be successful. But if you don't believe, if you're like, this might work, I don't know how this is gonna work, I'm too tired, I'm too old, I'm too young, if you let those excuses come out, you're gonna struggle. But if you're like, you know what? I'm gonna trust Russell. He looks like he's 11 years old. He's done this a ton of times and for tons of people. As of today, we have like 350 people inside of ClickFunnels fit the 2 Comma Club, meaning they made over $1 million in a funnel. I think we're like, I think it's 25, 26 people have hit the 2 Comma Club X, meaning making over 10 million. Like these things are happening all the time. And so it can happen for you. You just got to follow the process. Okay. So here's the framework I want to share with you guys today. Okay. And this is really to kind of help a lot of you guys, some of you guys who've been in my world for a while understand these principles. Some of you guys who are kind of new to this are just like, what is Russell even talking about? What in the world is a funnel, right? And so I want to kind of explain that. So to explain a funnel, probably the easiest way is to explain what most of you guys are all used to, okay? So what you guys are all used to is a thing that we call a website, okay? What's funny is if you look back 15 years ago when I first got started in this business, most companies didn't have a website. And people would always ask me like, hey, so do you think I need a website? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the future, right? And today it's the same thing. People ask me all the time, like, do I actually need a funnel? I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the future. So the website is like the 8-track of music, right? Like this is like what was happening, but this is what we're used to. This is what we understand. So I want to start here. Now, if you look at a traditional website, the ones you pay designers $5,000, $10,000 or more to create, what do most of them look like? Okay, they look kind of like this. Usually there's a page like this. You come here and then there's like a logo, something here, and maybe there's a menu here, and a lot of them have like another menu here with like more options here. And if you click on this button, it pops down a sub menu with like 10 more options. And all these things, if you click on it, pop down more menus. And then somewhere on this page though, like maybe on page 3 or 4 or 5, there's somewhere where it's like, this is what I want to happen. I want that person to give me money. So someone comes through this thing and they're going through links and trying to find some stuff and they're going everywhere and they never actually get to the spot where they give you money, right? And that's why most websites don't actually work. And maybe it's not money, maybe it's like you want to generate a lead. So they have to go through all this process to get to a lead and things like that. Okay, but there's a couple of principles you have to understand. Like the first one, this is like the #1 rule of direct response marketing. A confused mind always says no. Okay, so what does that mean? It means if you look at a traditional customer, somebody coming to your website, right? They're coming here and they're coming to your site. They click on a link, they go to Google, they buy a Facebook, you buy a Facebook, something that gets them to come to your website, right? And they come to this website, and then I used to do a whole bunch of, in fact, we still do like eyeball study tests, like what happens when someone comes to the website? Where are they going? Where's their mouse scrolling to? All sorts of stuff. And what was interesting, you'd see people come, they see the logo first, and they go over, see the menu, they come back to the sub menu, they click, and then the menu comes in. And what's happening is there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 20, 30, 40 different places blocking them from where you actually want them to go. So somebody comes, scrolls through here, and it's like, oh, menu pops up, other menu, other links, and it's like, you're literally like blocking people, like you're setting up blockers around the whole function and purpose of the website. Okay, and so they're confused, like, oh, maybe I want this, oh, maybe I want this, or I need their office hours, and I need this, and like they're going everywhere, and your website is literally blocking people from giving you money. Okay, it's the equivalent of like, let's say you had a storefront, let's say you had your own store, right? You set up your store, here's your doors, and you're all excited, like, this is my new store, this is gonna be awesome, and you start putting a bunch of ads out there, but then like the day before people show up, you're like, you know what I need? I need a whole bunch of guards out in front of my store. And so you get a whole bunch of guards to stand up here with a whole bunch of different things, and when people come, you wanna give them like 5 or 6 options about just, everything on earth. And then you start sending people to the store, and what happens? They come to the store, and there's like 20 different people out front, and like everyone's trying to tell you different things. They have different brochures and handouts, and you're like, I can't even get to the store, and you get kind of creeped out, and then you just leave, right? That may seem dramatic, but that's literally what's happening with every one of your websites. If this is your strategy, like that's the equivalent of what you're doing. None of us in the real world would do this with a store, right? It doesn't make any logical sense, yet for some reason, we do that with our website. We want to link to everything known to man that we've ever thought of or created or linked to, and that's what happens, right? And so because of that, people don't make money with traditional websites. It's nearly impossible. There was a day and a time way back in the day when people were bored and they'd sit there on websites for hours. You remember when email first came out and an email would pop up and you'd be like, oh, I got an email, you're so excited. And now today you're like, I got 400 emails today, and you're sick to your stomach because you don't even want to look at them, right? If you look at the average attention span back in like 1985 was 20 minutes, right? If you look even like 10 years ago, it was like 10 minutes or something like that. So people had time to go through here, look for stuff, all sorts of things like that. If you look at the average attention span of a human being today, guess how long it is? 7 seconds. Okay, goldfish's is 8. So you have 7 seconds to capture them. So they're in here and they're looking, they click link, within 7 seconds, like, I'm out, and they leave. Okay? And so what happens is most people who have these traditional websites aren't making money anymore. And so for me, my whole mission has been explaining this to people, like, websites are dead, like, it's over, like, there is something that, like, 8 tracks are done, like, we've gotten past cassette tapes, like, all those things are gone, like, today, here's the iPad, here's the iPod, here's the future of where things are happening, right? And so that's what a funnel is. So I'm gonna kind of map out over here more what a funnel is, okay? So website versus funnel. All right, so a funnel is different. Imagine this, okay? Let's come back to the store example, because I want to start there. So imagine you have a store, okay? And you put kind of ad out there, you put something out there, and it's really exciting, and somebody decides to come to your store. So this dude's all excited, he comes to your store, and you allow them to actually come into your store because you placed an ad or something got them excited enough to actually come to the store. They come in the store, and then your person walks through the doors, and they're greeted by somebody over here who's really happy, okay? And this is them. And they're happy to be here as well. And so they're greeted by a salesperson. That salesperson's like, hey, welcome to our store. And the guy's like, well, thanks, I'm excited to be here. He's like, cool, what are you looking for? Can I help you with anything? And the guy's like, you know what? I've got a big camp out this weekend. He's like, you have a camp out? Cool, like what? What'd you come for? And the guy's like, I'm doing a camp out, I'm looking for some kind of grill. I want to grill some food. And the guy's like, cool, let me take you to the grills, right? So then he grabs this dude by the hand, he walks him over directly to the grill section of the store. There's the grills, and he takes him over there and then and gets the grill with him, right? He's like, this is the best grill. Like all the ones, this is the one I think I recommend. The guy's like, well, thank you. That was super helpful. And he's like, what else do you need? He's like, I don't know. What do I need? He's like, well, if you have a grill, you probably need charcoal, right? And the guy's like, I didn't even think about that. I do need charcoal. So he walks him over here and gets some charcoal for him, right? So the guy gets some charcoal, and he's like, what else do you need? The guy's like, well, I haven't got my food yet. It's like, you don't have food? Like, come over here. Like, do you like hot dogs, hamburgers? What do you like best? The guy's like, I love hot dogs. Like, cool. Here's the hot dogs section. Takes them the hot dogs. And he's like, do you need buns? Here's the buns. And he like takes them through this process that gives this person exactly what they need. Okay? And what happens at the end of the day is that this dude right here who came into the store, his happiness level goes up. He's like, this is amazing. I had an amazing experience. I found everything I wanted, and it was perfect, right? And the salesperson right here, guess what happens to him? Okay, if you look at the salesperson, happens to him is exciting. Because he took him through the process, he didn't just sell one thing, he sold more. So his income went up and he made more money. Okay, he served this person better, so this person's happier. He made more money, so he's happier, and they both win. That's what a funnel is. I want you guys to understand, like that's it. That's the big secret, okay? It's taking it from like, come to my store, I've got a whole bunch of people out to block you, to come on in, let's find someone who actually likes you and can communicate with you, and have them take you through the process to find exactly what you want. That's the magic, okay? If you look at like a traditional e-commerce store, like an Amazon or a Shopify or things like that, it's kind of like someone walking into a store and there's all this stuff and they just kind of like, good luck, okay? So that's kind of the in-between there, right? And so the funnel is like having the best salesperson on earth take somebody through the process of finding exactly what they need. Okay, so that's what I'm going to kind of explain it to you. All right, now one really quick thing before I go too deep. How do we get this person into the store? Okay, typically you're going to run some kind of ad. Okay, and there's a 3-step process, and this is the thing we're going to drill in your head over and over and over and over and over again for the next 30 days. So the first step is you have to have a hook. Okay, what's the hook? It's the thing that got this dude to come into your store. He was driving his car, he hears on the radio, all of a sudden it's like, hey, come down to my store because we're giving away free blah, blah, blahs, right? And he's like, dude, I want a thing. And so he drives where he's at, stops, gets out of his car, and he comes in. Okay, it's a hook like that. It's some kind of hook that gets somebody to stop what they're doing and to come in front of you so you can actually present what you have to offer. Okay, that's number one. Number two thing is a story. Okay, so someone comes in here and tells a story like, what are you doing? I want to go camping. Cool, let me tell you my camping experience. I found this was awesome, this was awesome. You tell some kind of story that helps increase the perceived value of what you're selling. Okay, I'm going kind of fast here, don't stress out. We're going to go deep into this, okay? And the third thing is you make them an offer. Okay, so hook, story, offer. And if you look at a traditional selling experience, it's the same thing. There's some kind of hook and the story and an offer that gets somebody into the store. And then in the store, they're talking to someone, there's some kind of hook, a hook about why they should get this grill. There's a story, and then the offer is the grill, right? There's a hook. Why do you need the charcoal? Like, there's a bunch of charcoal. Here's the hook. Why do you need charcoal? Because you need to light your fire. And then the story of why this one's the best. And here's the offer that you can get this for this price. And every step in this process has a hook, story, offer. Okay, so if you look at like a traditional funnel that we're gonna be talking about, so you've seen it from like a storefront. Now let me show you what it looks like in a traditional world, right? So traditional world, somebody is here on their phone or they are on their computer. Let's say they're on Facebook, right? So they're on Facebook and they're scrolling through this newsfeed. They're seeing like their friend, their mom, their cousin, all these like stories. All of a sudden, thing pops out, right? And there's an ad in the middle there. And the goal of the ad is three things, and it happens to be the exact same three things we're talking about here. Hook, story, offer. My first goal, I'm scrolling. What's going to get them to stop scrolling and be like, huh? Right? You set a hook. And again, we're going to go deep into hooks, don't worry. But I'm setting a hook like, what's the thing that gets me to stop scrolling? Okay, hook. And then I got to tell a story that's going to get like telling them a story about why they should continue on this path with me. Why should they go on this path? And then there's an offer. Like, click on the link to go find out about whatever, right? So somebody sees that ad. If they do it right, they have a good hook, story, offer. That takes them now to a landing page, which is the first page in your funnel. Now, one thing you notice about a landing page is, you remember the first rule of direct response marketing? Confused mind always says no. So the landing page is very simple. There's only one thing to do on it ever. Okay, it's not like here's 2 options or 3 or 5 or 10 or 12. In a funnel, there's only one option. You come here, it's like, hey, and so every funnel is going to be different. Like maybe it's like, maybe over here on the ad it says, hey, I'm going to give you a free report about how I increased my vertical by 3 inches jumping, right? Or I'm going to give you a free report about how to do whatever, a video or a train or something. I'm giving them something, right? So I make an offer. So I have a hook, like I'm going to give you a free awesome thing. I'm going to tell you a story about it, and then I make an offer. Okay? And so the offer I'm trying to get here is I'm trying to get somebody's email address, let's say. Or maybe I'm trying to get them to buy something, whatever it is. But I'm making the same thing, hook, story, offer. So on this phase right here, let me write this out. There's a hook, a story, and an offer. And then from there they click over here, and then on this landing page, there's a hook, a story, an offer. Traditionally for me, I'm trying to get their email address up front, right? So maybe a headline here, maybe there's a picture of something, and then it asks for their email address, right? So the hook, a story, and an offer. They give me their email address. Then I take them to the next page, and it's like, cool. So you gave me your email address. That means you are excited about underwater basket weaving or whatever it is you sell, right? And it's like, cool. And then I come back, hook, story, offer. Hook, story, offer. It happens again on this page. Maybe I have a video here. It's like, awesome. And I hook them real quick. Like, if you like underwater basket weaving, I want to show you the number one thing I figured out in the last 20 years about how I did whatever. All right, so hook them and I tell a story. And I tell the story. And at the end of it, I can sell them something and I can make them an offer and actually sell them the product, right? Just like here, I sold the guy the grill. And then after they buy that, the next page is like, cool, so you bought my course on underwater basket weaving, but would you like to have, like, I went all over the place and I found my favorite baskets were from Tanzania. How would you like me to ship you out a kit from Tanzania or whatever, right? So I make a hook, a story, offer here, and I sell them the next thing, right? I sold them the charcoals or the thing, and then I take them through this process. So somebody buys, someone clicks on this link right here, then they give me the email address, then they buy, and then they buy the next thing, and I'm taking them through a very structured sales process, okay? Now the difference between what happens here in a store and what happens here is I don't have to have a salesperson. The funnel does the selling for you. I can have a video on there that does the same selling that this person would do in real life. I can have a video, I can have sales letter, I can have text, there's a lot of different ways, but basically that's what it is. It's very simple. It's a structure. It takes people from page 1 to page 2 to page 3 to page 4. Just like I would take this guy from his car to the store to the grill section, to the charcoal section, to the hot dog section, take them through exactly what they need to customize this experience for them so they've got the best possible thing in the world, okay? And so that's what a funnel is, you guys. And the coolest thing about this, it comes back to what I drew right here, right? When you do this, if you do it right, the way I'm going to be showing you guys over the next 30 days, is it increases the happiness of your customer. They will have a better experience with you, and it'll increase how much money you make from every transaction, which makes it a better experience for you as well. Okay, and that's when business is a win-win. When both sides of the table feel like they got a better offer, a better deal, then everybody wins. Okay, this whole offer I made for you guys right here, right? You paid $100 to get this training. $100 went to whoever referred you. I don't even get a penny for this. Okay, why did I do that? Because I want you to have such a good experience. Like, man, Russell's amazing. I'm coming back to his store. I'm buying the next thing from him. I'm going to buy ClickFunnels, getting the software. I'm going to do whatever he says because he makes these offers that are so good where I feel like I got a better deal than he did. Okay, and that's how funnels work. Okay, so that's kind of the process, you guys. As you're taking somebody through this process, just like here, you're increasing the happiness level and you're increasing how much money you're making. And so that's some of the context I want you guys to understand here as we're going into this challenge. This is what funnels are. Now, there's different types of funnels. Some are funnels to get people on a webinar. Some are funnels to sell a physical product. Some are digital products. Some are info. Some are coaching. Some are network marketing. Some are retail. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. I can plug it into a funnel just like this. Okay, people always... I would say probably the biggest question I get all the time from people is just like, well, my business is different. I don't think a funnel will work for me. All right, how would a funnel work for this business? How would a funnel work for this business? And really, and again, we'll go deeper into this over the next 30 days, but it's not rocket science. It's very simple. It's like, look at it the same way. Like, if somebody came in my store, what would I say to the person when they came through the door? Probably the same thing I'm gonna say on this page. What would I say on the ad that got them to come through the door? Probably the same thing I'm gonna say here. Okay, now that I'm talking to them, like, what would I tell them about this grill, why they should buy that? Probably say the same thing here. Like, people are people. It's not, you look at, for some reason people think because it's a funnel, it's like this magic ninja nerdy thing. It's like, no, it's people are people. This is just a process we're taking somebody through to serve them at the highest level and make as much money as possible at the same time. And that's how we do it. So I'm excited for you guys. This whole One Funnel Away challenge is gonna be the most exciting thing for you. And for right now, I just want you guys to believe that this is gonna work for you. Okay. What I'm going to do over the next couple of days, tomorrow I'm going to give you guys a video that's called One Funnel Away. In fact, it's a presentation I did at one of our events. We have a big event every year called Funnel Hacking Live. And typically at Funnel Hacking Live, we share like all the best stuff that's working. And one year I decided to do the opposite of that. And instead of sharing the highlight reel, I wanted to share all the stuff that got cut and left on the cutting room floor. And so I did a whole presentation talking about my failures and the things that I tried during my journey that didn't work. The 2 times I almost went bankrupt, the times I lost everything, I had to fire all my employees, my teams, but then the funnels I created, they got me out of that. I was literally one funnel away multiple times throughout my career, and so this presentation is going to share you that stuff. I'm a little nervous to share with you because I get vulnerable, I cry 2 or 3 times, it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm hoping by watching that, first off, me and you will be able to connect better. If so, I can serve you at a higher level, I promise you that, so hopefully it'll get us our connection, but second off, I hope it helps create more belief in this process because it works, I promise you. I don't care where you are, if you're a beginner, if you're in the middle, if you're at the ups, if you're at the bottom, this process will work for you. It'll change your business, it'll change your life, but most importantly, and we're going to get a lot into this during this training, it's going to change lives for your customers. Okay, business is not about you just making money. That's like a lot of entrepreneurs get into initially because like, I need money, right? A lot of you guys are here today, you're like, I need money, I'm trying to figure this out. But you'll find very, very quickly as you go through this process that the money, the excitement and energy and motivation for money doesn't last long. It's after you start making money, what will light you up is your ability to serve these customers. That's why I'm doing this. Like, I'm at a spot in my life now where I don't need more money, but I need more impact. And so taking us through this process, I want you guys to leave with the biggest smile and the biggest, if I can change your life in that way, that's why I'm doing this. And the same thing will be true for you. Okay, as you start growing this company and start growing the business you're building, you're going to serve more customers, and as you see their lives transform, that's what's going to light you up. Like, that's the key. That's why we do all this stuff that we do, and it's going to be why you're building your company as well. So that's kind of what's going to be happening up in the next 30 days. I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for taking the risk, the challenge, and dedicating the time and energy into this. Again, if you spend the next 30 days, put in the time, put in the effort, put in the energy, I promise you guys it'll be worth it. At the end of this, you'll have something really cool to show yourself, show your spouse, show your friends, show your family, but it'll be the beginning. It'll be like the launch pad for your entire new company. So don't forget, you guys, you're just one funnel away, and I'm excited to help you get there during this challenge.